Hey guys, Mark Williamson, the Golf Yogi here for GolfersRx. Got into a great conversation with one of my best friends this week about who is the best in-shape golfer of all time. This conversation got very in-depth, but Gary Player gets brought up, Dustin Johnson gets brought up. It's tough to argue against Dustin. He's tall, he's strong, he can dunk a basketball flat foot, he's a great swimmer. There's a lot of things that go into him being an athlete. I brought up a name that my buddy said, oh my God, I haven't heard that name for a couple years, Camilo Villegas. And Camilo's still playing, he's a great player, unbelievable talent. The biggest thing that he's known for is what? Reading putts like Spider-Man. Got this putt, getting all the way down here, sinking nice and low into it. Again, keeping everything off the ground, being able to get nice and low to that line. He can do that because on top of being a great cyclist and a great athlete, Camilo's very big into yoga. So a couple of stretches that we can do. Start getting into the tops of those hamstrings, getting into the hip flexors, getting into the hips, being able to get down a little bit lower so that all of us can read putts just like Spider-Man. Got a couple of good ones for you here today. First one here, real simple, just a runner's lunge. Gonna bring one foot forward, step the other foot back nice and deep into a lunge, stay on the ball of that foot. Just gonna take the hands down on either side, just like we're running a sprint, getting in those starting blocks. Once we get here though, we wanna move, we wanna bounce the hips. When you're bouncing the hips, make sure we're not sitting here bending the knee thinking that we're bouncing the hips. Wanna keep that knee nice and straight. Doesn't need to be big bounces to get a good move into this. You can bend and straighten a little bit into this front leg. You can get a little hamstring stretch in here. That'll actually stretch the front of your legs a little bit as well. Feels really good. Another one from here that we can do, it's close to the runner's lunge to get into it. Again, going to take that foot out in front of us. If you want to start off with this back knee on the ground, that's fantastic. This time we're going to bring the hands inside that foot, start to sink down a little bit. Make sure you've got enough room with this foot here. Now the big thing is that we're trying to get low, low, low. We don't want this knee falling way out to the side. We want to keep this knee hugged in right next to our shoulder. So again, right knee's hugging into that right shoulder, trying to take it a little bit lower. See how that feels. Should be getting into the hip good, maybe into the groin a little bit. Maybe into the hip flexor a little bit on this off leg as well. If that feels good with the knee down, same thing, just curl those toes almost back to that runner's lunge, got those hands inside the foot, gonna start to sink lower, lower again. Still not letting that knee fall out, keep it hugged in, get nice and low. Couple of variations off of here, you can start to work this hand outside the right foot, almost like we're gonna prop that just on the back of that leg up on the back of our right arm. Sinking nice and low again, trying to get that forehead down, almost like you're trying to kiss the ground down here. So again, do these a little bit each leg, back and forth, play around with it. You're gonna feel these a little bit differently every time you do them. Might be into the hips, might be hip flexors, might be groin, might be into the butt a little bit. No matter where you're feeling these, as long as you're moving, you're not feeling any pain, we're getting more mobility, we're getting more flexibility into those muscles. I'm not telling you to go out and try to read a putt like Spider-Man right away, but I guarantee you the more of these you do, you'll be able to get it one day. So guys, as always, if you have any questions, email me directly, mark@thegolfyogi.com. You can email GolfersRx directly if you have any questions. I promise those emails will get to me. We'll answer every one of them. Thanks guys, go out this weekend, play some great golf.